Hello traders, welcome to another Trade Your Way session. Today we're going to talk about backtesting. Now the reason I want to cover this in a little bit of detail is because I think we need to stress the importance of backtesting. Also I want to go through what backtesting is. There's a few questions that I've done here, so a Q&A. This is all based on observations that I've seen over the last so many years of trading. People always tell me that they're going to be backtesting, and it's almost like, okay, you're backtesting, but are they actually doing it right? So what's the method that you use to backtest, and what sort of results are you getting? So if you're not doing this properly, then everything else that you're doing will be in vain. What do I mean by that? Okay, well let's dive straight in and break it down for you. So a couple of questions for you. What is backtesting? So understand what that is. It's the process of going back through historical data and charts, trade it as if it were live. Okay, so there is a relevance there. It's a very powerful tool to use, and you can do that using various charting packages such as TradeView. They've got like a go-to function, etc. I think it's in the paid version perhaps, but I'm not sure exactly, each to their own in terms of what you want to use. Generally for illustration purposes, I use TradingView because they're clean charts and they're clear and you can visibly see what I'm trying to highlight. Question 2, how far back should I test? That's another common question. Well, generally, I'd say look back over the last year of your trading. Then drill down month by month, because then what you want to do is, especially like now if it's the start of the year, you want to compare year on year. And so you want to see what you did, how you performed last year, how it went, or go back. And chances are that if you are a seasoned trader or someone who's been trading for a good few years, all you're doing really is going back over what you've already traded. Chances are you will have already traded through a lot of this stuff that you're going back through. So it's not so much of a chore to go back over your past results. But what I would say is drill down month by month and basically look at sectioning off that month and then drilling down further to the smaller time frames, and then using those like a 1 hour and a 4 hour to go through looking for the setups. Now it's important, don't cheat. So that brings me to the next question. Which time frames are best to use? Well, we do what we call top-down analysis, so you all know what that means, I believe. So start from the high time frames, so start on the monthly, weekly, daily, especially when it's the end of the month or beginning of the month. You want to look at the monthly, weekly at the start of the week, end of the week, and then periodically for both of those time frames you want to look at them again. And then every day when you come in, so the daily, you want to see what's potentially likely to happen. Sometimes there's a good setup, looks like it might actually play out. And then drill down to the 4 hour and the 1 hour, and these are the two time frames that I'll generally look to backtest on. So you want to look for the setups, you want to look for the ranges, and then you want to plot your trades and you put your risk to reward on, and it's brilliant. And then you want to backtest it accordingly. So next question, is backtested accurate? Well, it leads on to this question. So it is if you take it seriously. So what do I mean by that? Don't cheat, as you're only cheating yourself. What do I mean by that? Well, some people might say that they may have been stopped out by a pip or two, or they might not have been stopped out, for example, depending on your broker. So, really pay attention to the little details as well, because at the end of the day, you're only cheating yourself. And of course, you're going to write this down, you're going to journalise it and make a note of it as well. Also, how accurate is it? Well, what I mean by don't cheat is put the trade on when you're backtesting. Go back, say, to last year to a key point when you find the setup that you like the look of, and put the trade on and let it play out and be as accurate as you can, because at the end of the day, this is almost going to be treated like a scientific project, a scientific experiment. So you want to ensure that the results are as fair and as unbiased and as accurate as yourself as they can be, because you're only cheating yourself if you don't. And it's really important that you do that. I don't think people take it too seriously or seriously enough when they are backtesting, and they'll smudge and fudge their results, and it's not. You're kidding yourself at the end of the day. So what do you use backtesting for? Okay, another good question that people ask me. So you want to assess your win rate, you want to assess your strategies, are the setups good? Are you seeing the setups play out consistently? When you are trading over a period of time, you'll notice your strategy setting up over and over and over and over. So spotting that and training your eyes to see this and identify the general consistency over a period of time without any risk, without worrying about whether you're going to win or lose on that trade, because there's no actual risk, but you are in a live environment because this stuff is actual real data. It has actually happened, but you've rewound the tape, as it were. You've gone back in time and you're yet to see how it's actually going to play out, and so you're going to watch the future play out. So it's a really, really powerful tool. Couldn't stress it enough. So hopefully you'll find this of value in terms of what I'm saying. Another question was like, can I not just simply watch some videos like the videos that you do and share in your playlist? And I'm like, look, I'm going to link things up. I am going to link my playlist more and more now, because I'm going to create it and so make it really useful and powerful with relevant content. Sure. I've got my strategies in there. Sure. There are a ton of courses being offered now out there. In the last 5 or 10 years, I've seen an explosion in this industry. And sure, there's a lot of that stuff out there. So yeah, of course, you may already do a lot of it. You may already have some courses that you're learning, or strategies that you're trying to backtest. But so it's really key that you understand how to backtest. So the idea with the backtesting is to reinforce your ideas to help build confidence, because you see, like I say, you see the same setups playing out over and over and over again. So this allows you then to see in reality, when you are forward testing, see the reality of the strategy, and be able to react without question, because you've got that confidence. Now, what do I mean by forward testing? Well, forward testing is then to take your back testing, your results, your strategy, everything that you've done, and to start trading with a live account, and to therefore start trading real, and that's forward testing, and you start journalizing your results. So yeah, just in case people were unclear what the difference was with back testing and forward testing. And also we're saying that versus just seeing a picture perfect example, illustration shared by a lot of these so-called gurus, insta scammers that are out there. They will show you, of course, they'll show you the perfect setup, the perfect play. But then what happens there, the problem is that when you then go to do it for real and you're forward testing this, because you haven't actually back tested it, you'll scare yourself, and you probably won't even take most of these setups, because you'll be like, well, that's not perfect. It's not the perfect setup. But the reality of trading is that it's not an exact science. We are trading probability. So it's probable that sometimes things may not exactly meet the criteria to perfection, and if you are looking for perfection, you can't be a trader, because there is no such thing. So you're trading probability. So it's really important to understand that. And that's what the importance of backtesting strategies and backtesting your ideas, why it's so powerful and why it's so relevant. Because then when you come to do it for real, you've got the experience. So don't just take my word for it. Don't just take any so-called guru, insta scammers' word for it, by them charging you to sell their course, etc., etc. You have to put in the work. There is no shortcut, as I keep saying. There's no quick fix. There's no shortcut. Doing the work is the shortcut. Okay, so final question. What should I backtest? Okay, so consider backtesting your strategies first and foremost. Consider 1 to 3 pairs that you like to trade. Which are your favourite pairs? Which are your favourite instruments? Is it equities, indices, forex? Is it commodities like gold, oil? Whatever it is, pick a few and start learning them back to front, in and out. Apply your strategies to them. Use a good charting package such as TradingView. Offers a lot of free tools. Also, journalize your results and comments, such as, was the entry and stop accurate? What's the win rate like? Am I profitable? What am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? This journal should be specifically for your back testing. So maybe have an add-on or bolt onto your actual journal. Maybe have it another spreadsheet, another page, and just have one for your back testing and one for your forward testing. So your forward testing being your live trading. So hopefully you find that very helpful and useful. In the next part of this video, I'm going to go through some actual results and actual ways of backtesting, I should say, and how I would backtest, just to give you a brief idea. And we're going to apply it to my 764 strategy, which is a popular 764 strategy. So let's dive straight into that. I'm only going to make this very quick so we don't drag on, and let's go. Okay, so this is the pound dollar. This is the 764 strategy that I'm looking at. It's a 1 hour chart. I like to do a lot of back testing on a 1 hour chart because I'm an intraday trader, I'm a day trader, so I'll start with a 1 hour. Well, I'll start on the monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour as well, but I like to look at it in a little bit more high definition, and so 1 hour is good. So let's take this last move up that we had. You can see here that it's gone up and then it's stalled. It's retested previous structure, retested the previous supply and demand zone, previous high around 137.50. Makes sense, doesn't it? And then it's come crashing back down. So when we spotted the reversal with my 764 strategy combined with perhaps my momentum strategy, which we've got the links for these strategies as well, I can share them with you, no problem in this video. But you'll see that price has gone down in one fell swoop, and it's dropped to the 61.8. So that's your first, potentially your first target could be anywhere for 38.50 or 618 for argument's sake. That would be mine for sure. Then of course we've had the retracement. So with the retracement, what I would usually do is if I was watching this and I've already made my money and it's come back, I would look to do two things. I would look at this range, I would plot my fibs again with my 764 consideration, and I'd be looking for a 764 pullback as well. So you can see there it's almost hit the 76.4, and so basically what is backtesting? Well, I'm backtesting my 764 strategy. I'm basically doing my analysis, and I'm basically saying, okay, this is what I would like for this to do, and then when it does certain things like this is what I'd like to see it do next on the pullback. So then on the pullback I would look to sell it here and buy and short it back down until such time we get down to my 764. Now it might get in this zone here, and we've got various other confluences, so I might cash out early, or I might just look to trail my stop loss. And so things like that, again, purely subjective, because trading is subjective. It's down to you. You have to choose what you do, and there is no roadmap or step by step. It's like if you want to move your stop loss or not move your stop loss, take some profit, take all profit, take no profit. Again, down to you, up to you. It's up to you. So basically, I'd be looking to apply my 764 strategy like I do all the time and short this and continue to short, whether I get in on one trade or multiple trades, short until such time that we get down to my 764. Then what would I do? Right, so I've started from here. That was just to give you a lead and a follower, to introduce you to this strategy and to my trading, and to tell you exactly what I would do and how I've done it. Now the next part would be that I'm going to go and look for 764 strategy to take it up. Because the 764, the beautiful thing about this strategy is that, one, you can sell down to it or short down to it, and then two, you can buy off it as well. So you can trade to it and from it. That's the powerful thing about the 764. It makes it so flexible. So what would I do here? Well, I'd be looking for a long position here, and obviously it's stabbed down just below. So I would say, okay, if I'm going long, wait for the pullback, wait for a retest if we get one. But if I manage to get in with an entry, I would put my entry around 136.45, and I would put my stop loss around the low 136.30. So 15 pips is a no-brainer. And how would I do that? So I would get my tool and I would say, okay, this is me back testing. This is me saying, okay, I'm going to try out my 764 strategy. I'm going to enter the market at 9 o'clock on 9 o'clock in the morning. Around the London Open, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put my stop loss something like that. My entry is going to be here. Now where's my T1 going to be? Well, my T1 is going to be based on this move here, which is basically where's that low to that high. Remove these ones because they're no longer valid, obsolete. So we can maybe leave them on if let's see if we can do that. Let's just pull that on there. It would be something like this. Settings, go to the left, move those fibs over, don't extend it anymore, but if you want to, it's optional. You can leave them on your chart for reference, okay? But for me, I've already established that it's done what I wanted it to do to the downside, made some money. If I haven't made my money to the downside and I wish to take it up, then I'd wait for it to get here and then look to go long. So we're entering here, we're taking a long, and we're now focused on the buyback, which wants to take us up to the 764 of this range, of this brand new range. And so where is this range going to be? So let's let's pull it across. Let's see what happens. Let's play. I haven't got the functionality at the moment on TradingView because I use it for illustration purposes, so I haven't I haven't got the play by play on this. Apologies, but yeah, it was just to show you again, more so focused on backtesting and understanding how I would apply my backtesting principles and how I would apply it to this strategy. So that's roughly how I would play this in terms of position, and once it's moved up to say the 38.2 previous structure or the 50%, because the pound likes the 50%, I would then move my stop loss to break even, and I would also then look to manage my risk. So perhaps by if I can move it, perhaps by doing this, moving stop loss to break even, and taking some partial profit at a T1, which would be down here somewhere like that. So that would give me an idea of how I would play this. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. This was just to give an example, which you all know about my 764 strategy. Again, the links are going to be provided in this video. I don't want to make it too long. I wanted to focus on backtesting and make sure that you are actually backtesting correctly, because otherwise everything that you've done, everything you think you're doing, everything that you're about to do won't be as effective. It won't work. It might even set you back. It might even hinder your progress in terms of not realizing, you don't know that you're doing things wrong. So be clear on that, and if you want any help, then get in touch. All my links to all my social media pages, everything is on here. You can telegram me as well, at Alex_TYW, so at ALX_TYW. I hope you found this video nourishing, nurturing and of value, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for your time.